Yes, we are live. Welcome everyone. Roger decided to talk about legacy. So let's do this. Like everyone who knows him, Roger Burnley, check him out. Come to the channeling session. And yeah, you won't miss out on good stuff. That's for sure. And legacy, Roger, brother, what do you have to tell to
Okay,
legacy? Let
this
the
is what
people
I'm going to
know.
talk. This is what I'm going to talk about today. And there was a while ago and I want people to find this later. There was an any advice message that came through that's on the site, anyadvicefortoday.com on July 4th. And we'll look at that before we leave because I want people to see it, but I would love for people to read it before Wednesday, because we're moving through some energetic changes in our world and we're experiencing them in our lives, and not everyone is understanding what is occurring. And we all evolve the same way. It's through our consciousness. That's the only way that we exist. And if we're not feeling confident, if we're not feeling powerful or empowered, then we haven't connected to our authentic selves. And that takes a while. It's just a journey that we all go on. But the other part of that is, and the work that I'm doing, is that the world takes that same journey, because we contribute to the energies of our world individually, and that creates a collective experience. And so the craziness that everybody might have been feeling in the world over the last several years is for a great reason. And this is why I shifted everything to start talking about it, because I wanted people to understand what was occurring. Somebody enrolled in our program yesterday, okay, and started doing the work. I got to send him something else, but in the midst of that, they're like sending me two emails like, I don't know what's happening. I'm a little afraid. What am I going? I said, just breathe. You're changing. The entire world is changing, and all the chaos that we're seeing is to help us evolve. That's all that's going on. But if we have a different interpretation, it becomes challenging. But first thing we can do is, and people will know this if they've read any of my messages, I've been able to receive cosmic universal guidance. This is how I healed my life. This is how I was able to do anything. This is how I created my program, and it's over time. We don't understand who we are when we're born. It's something that grows as we live. And so we are making energetic choices about that. I made a mistake. That was terrible. Okay. What are you going to do about that? Oh, now I'm really angry and I don't understand why. Or I'm really frightened. I don't understand why. What are you going to do? You can answer the question. And that's all that it is. So why don't you're so much better at this, because I don't want to read it, because I want you to read it, because my name is mentioned too much. I was going to censor the message. I do that sometimes because when I'm called out, we all are, when we listen to our guidance and we say, oh, you haven't done something yet. Well, now might be the time. And so we'll let you read the one from today.
You just gave me a key that I will use for my personal life, and I have to note this because I don't want to forget it. Yeah.
Well, so you see, the people say, well, how could you have done all of this? I said, and this is the thing that makes my work a little bit different than anybody else. See, I wrote it all down over years.
Yeah. And like, I mean, the way that you did it, like you say you healed your entire life, or you heal
Mm-hmm,
anything through the work that you did, right?
mm-hmm.
And this just gave me the answer, how I healed myself
Mm-hmm.
and how I did it. And I'm just writing it down right now. So
Perfect.
yeah, I mean, this is again then just what's just beautiful. Yeah, easy. So the message for today is what you want me to read. Is this right? So you
Yes.
don't feel awkward while it's reading your own name, or
Yeah, because I get called out. The same thing happens in the live channeling session. My Wilhelm says, Roger hasn't done this yet. It's calling us all out.
Mm.
Roger hasn't
So
owned himself yet.
okay, it's a long one again. Like
Yes.
it'll improve my English skills. That's for sure.
I'm sorry. I was
Bro.
going to cut some of it out, but they said no. It's important for everybody to
Hmm.
understand every word.
Yeah, it is indeed. So They will, I will. I just read it before I
Mhm.
just started being on the computer now after a
Mhm.
beautiful day. And now I just read the message like 10 minutes ago. So I read it again, which is cool. August 14th, 2020. Or do you want me to read the 2023 as well?
The 2023, because that's important, because we have to
Cool.
understand, and this is what I was dealing with my client. We think that once we receive some information that automatically we embody it and start living it. We don't do that. That's not how humans operate. We receive information, we have to ingest it, we have to decide whether or not we're going to believe it, and then we have to assimilate it into who we are. Then we can live a different life. But we try to rush sometimes.
Boom. Like, yes, patience, right? Patience.
Yeah.
Um, we think we can have it all now, or we want to have it all now. Not
Well,
with
you
time,
can,
but
but you got to
sometimes
take
we
your
do
time.
it. Exactly. Exactly. Time. So August 14th, 2023. You know more now. You came into the world to be alive at this time to offer your essence and thrive. You will do that when you accept who you have become. You could not have known that before now. We said you are moving through a restructuring in your world, and it might be challenging for many of you, which is why we provided our words and did so on specific days. And this is one, August 14th, 2020. You could not have known who you were before this moment in time. Yes, we are speaking to you personally and your world as a whole. More of you are questioning who you are now. We had trouble getting Roger to write this message as it was informed by a question he received from a client, and Roger did not want us to infringe on their work. But Roger is discounting the fact that we do that all the time, and also he is encountering his own health limitation. Roger thought he could not interpret the information, but we told him he could. Yesterday, the client sent a question regarding their life purpose. When Roger examined what they presented, the life purpose of this individual was blaring to Roger and went unseen by the client. You each do this, but there is a reason you do. Please pretend to believe the following. Try to remember everything is about perception, and you can adapt any you choose. So choose to look at the nuggets of wisdom in this. Everyone looking for the nuggets now, please. We have said you each are born with aspirations or accomplishments you want to achieve in this lifetime. At your birth, you came to the world with specific abilities, traits, and creative characteristics that were innate, but they were this might just bring me out, but they were that because you developed them in previous lifetimes. So then you come to this lifetime and you have new accomplishments to achieve, and you will encounter what feels to you to be challenges or difficulties. Still, eventually, you move through them because you are utilizing those previously developed skills, because those skills you did use to navigate your life were natural to you. You take them for granted and never realize their value to you and others. We know this may be confusing, but now we will tie it together to instill in each of you that there are no accidents in your life. Yesterday, Roger received a request from a magazine to write on a topic, and he was to choose between three options. We want him to post the one he chose here because it will give his client a clue and also many of you, and we will have performed our job of letting Roger realize he could deliver this information that it not infringe infringe on his client but helps you all. Risk taking. How do you think about risk? What role has taking risks played in your life career? Surprisingly, each of you, not only Roger's client, will find clarity in answering that question. Wilhelm. Yes,
Okay,
like,
let me talk about that. I didn't remember
yeah,
any of this. I didn't remember. I mean, I now reading it, I do remember being asked to write this article, and there were three choices, and I took the one about risks because, see, that's the thing that holds us all up. We get afraid to take the risk because we don't believe ourselves. And I've done that, so I understand it. But see, when I can read that message now, or when you can read it, I can say everything in there is absolutely true because I've already lived it, you see. But I had to go
yeah,
back and look at it to recognize that is what has happened. Every single person does the same thing.
we do. It's the judgment that we hold about
Yes,
ourselves and the limitations
yes.
and the ego that tries to stay comfortable. This one part of us may, that just always wants to
Mhm.
stay, just wants to stay because we know it, right? But to actually
Yeah,
tap into who we are and experiencing our full potential might be scared at times because of how powerful we are and how society made us think that we are not. So yeah,
I want to show you something else. There was one aspect of that
mhm,
where it came through that said that when I'm working with a client, okay, I'm going to explain this so people will get it because many people have already experienced it. I've written pretty much everything. Everything is about mindset. Everything that we experience in our lives is about mindset. The way that we move through any difficulty, any challenges is through the mindset that we adapt. But we need guidance to be able to do that. We take courses, we have all of that. Well, I wrote them all down. And then I said, but I'm thinking, how could that have been? See, this is again where we put up limitations. And that's what that message was saying. I believed in my limitation because, see, I can sit with any person and they can ask me a question and I can say, oh, I have the answer here. Let me just go read it to you, because it's about changing your perception. And I've already done that, which is how the healing comes about. Any person could do it. But the problem is we get impatient and we don't want to do it. And I understand that because like you said, there was many days I just wanted to put my head under the covers. No, I'm not dealing with any of this. And when we do that, then we end up with a world that looks the way that it does now. The difference in the work that we're doing in this program is about getting people to move through those limitations so that they have really brilliant careers, so that they have really prosperous lives, so they become happy. That's all of it. And we have the tools to do that.
we do, and everyone is meant to be successful, right? Everyone has the potential to be successful and to experience the best life that they wish to live. So yeah, big time, bro, big time. I think
There's
it's
another thing.
our time now,
Yeah.
always.
So now I want people to read this because before tomorrow and Wednesday, we're going to move through some energetic changes in our world, and we're feeling it all over the place. But if we understand what's going on and decide to work on ourselves and be happy and become the people we were
Mm,
meant to be, everything changes.
yeah.
But we have to look at the ugliness of it first to be
No,
able to let go of it.
bro. And sometimes, right, we're too comfortable to see the ugliness because we choose to look away.
Right.
And then the big bang happens, right? And we look at it.
And the
Um,
universe said, no,
mm.
you're not going to have that choice this time.
Oh,
you're,
you're
go-
not. You're
you're
not.
going to either choose to be happy or you're going to suffer.
Yeah.
That's the energetic changes that are moving, that we're all moving through. So if you could pull up, I don't know if you can, yeah, you are on the site. Go to, you can just share this. So I just want to see that. I want them to understand. I've received messages in different ways. We all do that. If you talk about ascended
You want me
master,
to
I've
share the
never
screen and look and let the
on
people follow or what we're doing?
we're just going to scan it on July 4th because and I'll explain it. Because they're not going to read it all right now because it's long. Because what I
Like,
was guided to do was to go back and find every message I was given on July 4th since 2012, I believe. And when you tie them together, it will make sense as to what this transition is that we're moving through in our world currently, and then how each of us are meant to own who we are to help this transition become what it's supposed to be, meaning creating a better world. Okay, so that was the one. Now, if you open the July 4th one, yeah, and you can just scroll down because I hear guidance like this all the time. And you can just scroll, you can see the July 23, then 2020, and then keep going. And there
Now
will
I
be,
have to
oh,
go back again. Yeah, it's all good. Like I think
I
Cam,
oh, it probably didn't open the full
yeah,
text, I think.
2022, 2023. No,
Uh oh yeah, oh okay, yeah, yeah. Is that oh yes, yes, there. Okay, scroll down that one. Let's see. Is that all July 4th?
this is what I have been on before. This
Oh
is
yeah,
July
yeah, yeah, yeah.
4th,
Of
but this
23.
is also July 4th, and this is July 14th,
No,
or
it
July
was
4th, 2022.
it's called, the title of it is,
I mean,
oh,
you can
you're
share
like,
your
yeah, yeah,
screen if you
there it
wish.
is. There it is. That's the one. Your life, your legacy. That's the one. That's the one. They
Okay.
said there were two messages that came through that day because I was
Oh,
stopped and
whoa,
said,
yeah,
go.
no, here it is.
Yes. Now
Yeah,
you'll understand on one, because I had put up the first one and then they said very clearly, nope, you're not done yet. Go back and do this. I don't care if people people might think this is crazy, but when
2012,
they,
2013, 2014, 2015,
yeah,
2016, 17, 18, 19, 20.
and anyone who takes the time to read that will come to a greater awareness of who they are now.
Yeah, bro, it is important.
It's like a little mini book, you know?
Hmm. And it's like every year from
Mhm.
2012 on. Cool. Do you want me to read anything of that or good?
No, I would rather have people go there and take their time and read it
Yes.
themselves, because then they'll understand it. When it was first published on July 4th, most people probably would not have understood it.
So anyone go on anyadvicefortoday.com.
Right.
Anyadvicefortoday.com. Yes.
Are there any people, I want to do something else too, because I was someone talked about this in one of the groups saying, Roger, take some time to find a message. I go, well, yeah, because they're all written, but I want to show people are there any people online listening or anything? Because I would love to get a question. If somebody had a question of what might be going on for them,
I can
I don't
check.
see if anyone's there, if they have a question of anything that's might be happening for them. And then I just want to find a message to read to them. And then we'll see. It'll just be kind of fun. If not, we can do it on the next time.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm checking here. I can't see it on my laptop. I will go in with my
Mhm.
phone. But yeah. No, the Q&A the other day was amazing. I think it's value for people big time, to be able to get questions answered.
All right.
Alrighty, where are we here? We're live. Okay. Um, can't see it on my phone. No,
There may be. That's okay.
won't be.
We're doing
Won't be.
another one later, and I would love to go through that, because see what happens is
Yes.
when I'm and I can't, I'm not going to be able to do this for everyone, but when I'm speaking to someone and they tell me something that's going on for them, I can pretty much go and find a message that was given to me, because this is all mindset work and we're all doing the same thing. How much are we going to believe who we are? How much are we going to do that thing that we feel we're given to do, because everybody has something? Or how long are we going to keep judging ourselves for what we didn't do? How long are we going to stay in that cycle? You know, there is a way to move out of it, but it's always in our consciousness, our awakening to who we are, and our decision to embody that. And it is a process that we all move through.
Yeah. It is like for me,
Mhm.
sometimes it felt like the universe is pulling away the ground, and I'm just like, bam, there it is. Face it.
Mhm.
Be in it, face it. And yeah, it's been uncomfortable. Like I've had many moments or many even conversations with people who didn't understand what I'm talking
Okay.
about. And
Oh,
yeah,
good. This is going to be, or you're going to be my example now. You're
yeah.
saying something when we came on that you were moving through something. Tell me, give me what it was or what you were feeling. Just if you can describe it in a feeling or an emotion or whatever it might have been.
Like I feel power right now because of being who I am. So like, do
Okay,
you
but
want
no,
me
but there was a
to give you,
difficulty in there. What, give me the difficulty. I can see it, but I got to wait for you to tell me.
bro, to we can call it anything that is holding you
Mhm.
back, but it is about,
It feels like it's autonomy, but let me
I don't even know the word autonomy. If you would have
owning
a
yourself.
conversation with me in owning yourself, yeah, those
Okay.
similar words went through
Okay.
it,
Let
like
me go there.
own your truth eventually is
Uh-huh.
how I would call it, because it takes courage to be you. It really does.
Okay. You just said power, right? That's what you were feeling. Okay. Listen, this is the message. There is nothing that surpasses the power of choice in your physical
Mm,
life experience.
yeah, choice, bro.
You may think there are other causes or reasons that you may experience your life in a particular way. However, you always choose how to experience your life. It matters not what occurs or what happens to you. The choice of how you experience or think about it is still up to you. When you decide to remember this fact, you regain the autonomy to direct your life that is always there, but sometimes obscured by you through your choice. Choice is what also allows you to choose to live in your moment of now. That was your message.
Yep. There are no problems in the now, like there are only solutions. And the moment that you
Mm,
own yourself and you tap into your authentic self, you will always find a way to move through anything. And
mm,
no matter who is trying to hold you back, or no matter how, yeah, how difficult the situation may seem, right? There's always like an infinite amount of possibilities and solutions already there waiting for you to believe in yourself and to take action. It is about the decision that you make, right? The choice that you make to, okay, yes, I cannot change anything that happened, but I can change the now, and I can choose to make the best out of the now. So from there on, like, how can you move on from this moment in time on where you can feel empowered with who you are, what you do, right, and how you present yourself to the world. So the belief that you have about yourself is aligned with who you want to be. So if you think one thing and you do another, then there's something not in alignment, and this causes unhappiness. This causes suffering, and many of us do this, right? The moment that we choose to stay ignorant and not to look at our problems, or like not to find the solution for like this thing that we don't like we will suffer. And many people on this planet, they choose long-term suffering, right? Just because they short-term or like in the now are too comfortable to make a change or to make an adjustment, right? And I had a conversation today, or I listened to someone. I was working with him last year in hospitality, and he's been very light. He's a very softy, right?
mm,
And
mhm.
yeah, like to make changes and to escape the darkness that surrounds us, or what means to escape the darkness, but to kind of make light out of it, or to make changes necessary to move forward with a better understanding of self and like confidence, really, right? He started making small adjustments, right? Small adjustments. And this is
Mhm.
enough. Like the moment that we keep adjusting small little things, our nervous system is not overwhelmed. Like I overwhelmed my nervous system many times because I saw the goal, I saw the target, and I thought like, oh yeah, I'm there now.
Mhm.
And then the physical reality had to catch up. So small adjustments and you will move there anyway, gradually, and you keep continue grow in a way that may feel more comfortable. I sometimes I just love to make big steps, and I risk things, right? The message was, do you risk things? I'm like, whoa, this is me. But yeah, not everyone may shows up with that type of courage and belief. But yeah,
Okay.
I
You
believe.
just said something. I'm gonna translate Yarna again because he was speaking, he speaks in terms that are so evolved, and I know I want everybody to understand it. So when Yarna says something, I have to go back and look at a message. Let me see what Wilhelm said about that and put it in some other words. And so this was it. And then we'll let everyone go. Okay. Taking baby steps is usually most effective for you. The idea here is that when you are in what you might think of a mindset of taking baby steps in the direction of your dreams, you are aware that you are in a training mode. You are willing to accept direction, and you know that you are becoming comfortable with the process. When you think that you must take giant steps, you are likely to stir up some fear of that unknown territory, which then ends up in you halting your journey or procrastinating in some way. The idea of baby steps also takes you back to your childlike thinking, which is open, receptive, and full of curiosity. Enjoy that. That's the message.
Yeah, enjoy the progress, right? Enjoy the ride. But
And
yeah.
that's what we're all going to need to. And I'm just going to say, I just want everybody to remember all of this and really take this in, especially over the next couple of days, because we're going to see energetic changes that are necessary for us to create the world we want. But we will help that when we decide to own who we are and become happy. And that's the work we're doing. So,
Owning who we are,
yeah.
right? And I want to give an advice as well
Mhm.
that like look at yourself, observe yourself, and see how you feel in everything you do. Start with this present moment. How do you feel about what you do, about who you are, about how you're showing up in this particular moment? And you can like to explain how like this is the way how I operate. I learned that when I spoke a specific way, when I used a certain tonality or intention,
Mhm.
sometimes I felt good, sometimes I felt weird, and sometimes I felt not good at all. The moments I didn't felt good were the moments I wasn't owning myself. So you feel good always when you own yourself. You feel empowered, right? And you own yourself is what I
Mhm.
want to say, and you feel your authentic self through owning yourself in each and every moment, right? It can be a progress, keep adjusting small things, right? But keep moving forward. See that you make really small improvements daily. Do things that bring you joy, right? Like joy. What a big part of life. Like I'm going through some things right now, right? Like I think I haven't. Well, I was crying so much because it is something that is really near to my heart. It's a family thing that is going on, that I'm
Mhm.
owning myself when I speak my truth. And yeah, it feels great, right? It feels great.
I'm
And
glad you brought that up.
we really have to go in it and deal with anything that is right in front of us.
All right. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you said that because this is why I've been talking about relationships, and I want everybody to take this in. We're going to move through some energetic changes that may cause us to look at our relationships, our friends, our families, and all of that in a new way. And we're not understanding that. And then they're going to be uncovering things about themselves they're not going to understand. And we have this confusion. We have to realize that we're all developing individually into who we're meant to become. And it's not going to be like anyone else. And it's not going to look the same as anyone else. We have to honor our path because when we do that, we're connecting to our source. We're connecting to the original reason that we were born, which was to offer something to the world. And it's innate,
Mhm.
it's within each and every person. So that's what we need to remember over these next several, well, longer, but especially the next few days.
Yes, like I've got great response to what I was posting yesterday.
Mm,
Your heart breaks until it's open.
yes. And
Your
yes, that was
heart
perfect. Yes.
breaks until it's open. And like I have conversations with family right? But I don't feel pain anymore. My
Mhm.
heart doesn't feel closed, right? I can express myself. I can speak my truth because I'm open now. Like it took me work, right? It took me really time to observe myself and to adjust things, right? To really become or to own myself in a way that yeah, that I feel empowered and aligned with
You're
myself.
making me do this again. Oh,
You do
gosh.
what you have to do, Raj.
Okay.
Do
I
what
want
you
to,
do.
I don't, I know we've got to go, but I just have to do this one because it keeps coming through. Um, because the more that people will understand this,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the, let me see, is it this one? Okay.
Yeah.
There's so many, but anyway, I'll do this one. This will be kind of what you just talked about. There is an irony that is ever present as you seek to expand in your physical experience, and that is you feel at times uncomfortable with receiving what you have desired. The reason for this is that as you become that person you always desired, it is also unknown to you and brings up that fear of the unknown or a condition you have yet to experience. You do, however, become more comfortable because a result of any form or part of your expansion is that you experience acceptance of that new you. This will also explain to you why those who instantly, so it might appear, receive fame and success find ways to get rid of that or halt the process. Your awareness now will guide you away from that path. It means looking at trying to be someone else, thinking that the famous people is the important ones. That no, it's about us owning who we are. We get lost in thinking it's someone else. There's another one too that I won't go into. We don't have time today, but they said the biggest irony of life is that we move through it thinking, trying to be someone else, and then to get
Mm-hmm.
to the end of our lives, just about when we're ready to die, and then we discover, oh crap, I was just trying to become myself. That's what we're all doing.
Big time. Yeah,
Great. All right.
big time. We'll talk
More will
now.
come through on Wednesday. I hope everybody comes to the challenge session or registers for
Yeah,
it because there's going to be a lot of information and it will be helpful for all of us.
you won't miss you won't miss anything if you attend. That's
Yeah.
for sure. So
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Great. Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Let's keep it moving. Much love. See you soon.